This video is sponsored by Wise. You've probably heard that Portugal has gotten expensive and that the dream is over for budget-conscious expats and retirees. Want to move to Portugal? Go back in time 10 years and maybe you can live cheaply. That's partly true, but Portugal is a big country, and if you know where to look, living well for under 2,000 euros a month is still possible. I'm going to prove it to you today with real numbers in every budget category, from housing and food to healthcare and entertainment. So stay with me until the end of this video to find out whether you can afford to live in Portugal as a single person, a couple, or a family. Let's start with the number one thing that will make or break your budget: housing. How expensive is housing in Portugal in reality? You've probably heard that Portugal faces a housing crisis, and it's true. If you look at this graph, you can see that prices are on the increase whether you're buying or renting. Says one local, quote, "It keeps getting worse. There's practically no such thing as affordable cities here, given the average national salary. All big cities have expensive housing now. You could probably move here with a foreign salary and still save money, but that's not the average Portuguese experience." The problem is more complex than foreigners pushing up prices. But the cost of housing is something to weigh very carefully when deciding whether to move to Portugal or not. Fortunately, affordable housing is still available, albeit outside of the largest cities. According to Idealista, the most expensive places to rent in Portugal are Lisbon, Porto, Faro, and Funchal. To live in these areas, you can expect to pay between $1,000 to $2,000 per month for rent alone. Many expats spend around $2,500 to $3,000 per month to live in these cities. However, you can save a lot of money on your rent if you look at smaller towns and inland areas. Just be prepared that most smaller towns will be much quieter than Lisbon or Porto. They are also hotter. Places in central Portugal and those which are close to the Spanish border can get very hot in the summer. You'll also likely need a car in these locations, as public transport usually isn't the best in rural Portugal. Even though the capital of Madeira Island, Funchal, has among the highest rent prices per square foot, you can find more affordable housing in other parts of the island. These are the cheapest places to rent in Portugal, according to Idealista. If you want to be near Lisbon, try Setúbal, a nice quieter city by the water. Here, you're able to reach Lisbon by car in 30 to 40 minutes or an hour by train. It's quite a bit more affordable. Caldas da Rainha is a compact, centrally located small city about an hour north of Lisbon. There are decent rental and real estate prices, always something happening around town. It is eminently walkable, and it has a very good climate. If you want to live near Porto, try a secondary city like the places listed on the screen, which I can't pronounce very well. They are nice places to live near Porto, but cheaper. On this chart, you can see the average rental costs for a one-bedroom in the city center for popular places to live in Portugal. Braga is among the lowest, while Cascais is the most expensive. Whether you're planning to travel to Europe for fun or move there someday, you'll be spending in euros. That means you need a smart way to manage your money in different currencies. For the past 14 years, I've used and recommended Wise to my relocation clients for managing their international finances. With Wise, you can hold and exchange money between 40 plus currencies right from your phone. So whether you're paying rent in euros, getting paid in dollars, or sending money back home, you won't be hit with hidden fees or marked up exchange rates. You save a lot with Wise, up to 70% compared to traditional banks. And when it comes to actually paying that rent from a US account, this is where Wise really stood out for me. Every time you wire money from the US abroad, you pay expensive transfer fees plus hidden markups on the exchange rate. But Wise charges the fair mid-market rate you usually see on Google. Plus, Wise lets you hold euros right in your account and pay like a local. No hidden fees, no surprises. Download Wise for free using the QR code on screen or the link below this video and get your first transfer up to $600 fee-free. If you buy a property in Portugal, you can also find lower prices in the inland and central areas with older homes starting around 150,000 euros, a fraction of the going rate in Lisbon. One place where people really save is in property taxes. One American couple's property taxes dropped from over $13,000 per year in Chicago to 500 euros per year in Portugal. And for home insurance, many people report spending less than 200 euros per year. One part of living in Portugal that catches almost everyone off guard is monthly utility expenses. The thing about Portuguese homes is that many of them, especially older homes, were not built for comfortable indoor winters. There's often no central heating or AC, and when summer or winter hits, you feel it. For a typical 85 square meter apartment, here's what you're looking at monthly. Electricity averages around 60 euros per month for a one-bedroom, but can spike to 100 to 140 euros in winter if you're running a portable heater. Water is roughly 15 to 30 euros per month. Gas is around 20 to 30 euros per month. Internet and phone are more affordable. A solid home connection runs 37 to 49 euros per month depending on speed. For a mobile phone, budget around 19 to 30 euros per month for a good data plan. All in, budget 120 to 180 euros per month for a normal month and up to 200 euros in winter. And if you're buying a home in northern Portugal especially, seriously consider solar panels. The payback period is around 7 years on average. Setting up automatic payments for utilities is also way easier when your euros are already sitting in your Wise account. You can send directly, and 74% of transfers are instant, completed in under 20 seconds. This makes it easy to pay your local phone or electric bill without getting hit with any extra fees. Hi there, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe for free videos every week about travel, culture, and living abroad. You can also join the Abroad Club on my channel for special perks such as members-only community posts, priority replies to your comments, and early access to new videos. And if you're seriously thinking about making a move yourself, check the link in the description or scan the QR code to learn how I can help you get there. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, for the good news, groceries in Portugal can be genuinely affordable, especially if you shop at local outdoor markets. Almost every town in Portugal has a weekly or daily market where local farmers sell vegetables, eggs, fish, and cheese. Your money goes further, the quality is better, and honestly, it becomes one of the best parts of your week. Also, the corner produce shop. Here are some current grocery prices in Portugal. Spoiler alert, the price of eggs has doubled or tripled from a couple years ago. For a single person cooking at home regularly, your monthly grocery bill should land somewhere between 200 euros and 300 euros. If you're a couple, budget 400 to 500 euros. The more you shop like a local, the lower your grocery bill will be. If you eat conventional Portuguese food, your grocery bill stays low. But the moment you want organic/low processed, expect to pay significantly more and have fewer options. The selection is either minimal or it's very pricey due to low volume and higher import costs, often coming from Germany/Netherlands, etc. For supermarkets, Aldi and Lidl are your budget champions. Continente tends to run a bit higher. Pingo Doce sits in the middle. Dining out in Portugal and enjoying the local fare is one of the great joys of Portuguese life. The golden rule to save money on eating out is to eat where the locals eat. If the menu is only in English and there's a photo of every dish on the wall, you're paying tourist prices. Walk one street over and you'll find the same quality for half the price. Using your Wise multi-currency card makes it easy to buy groceries abroad, whether you pay with your card in the store or withdraw cash at an ATM to use at local markets. Do you need a car to live in Portugal? That is the question. In Lisbon and Porto, you genuinely don't need a car. The metro, buses, and trams are reliable and cheap. A monthly unlimited pass in Lisbon runs about 40 euros. In Porto, similar. That's it. That's your transport budget. But if you move to a smaller city or a rural area, which is exactly where the best value is on this budget, a car starts to make more sense. Here's the transport cost breakdown for this year. If you're on a tight budget and you're choosing between a city with good public transport or a rural area where you need a car, factor in the full cost of car ownership. It's not just gas, it's insurance, maintenance, tolls, and inspections. That can add a couple $100 per month to your budget depending on how much you drive. Car insurance in Portugal can vary widely. One expat said he was able to negotiate his initial quotes of 109 euros to 287 euros down to 57 euros with roadside assistance. That comes out to $67 per month, about a quarter of what Americans often pay. Getting good quality healthcare is one of the biggest reasons people move to Portugal, especially if you're coming from the United States. Portugal has a public healthcare system that you can access as a legal resident. Most services come with only a small co-payment, usually €5 to €10. Prescription medications are subsidized, and emergency care is covered. However, waiting times for specialists in the public system can be long. Many expats have reported waiting up to 7+ years to get assigned a family doctor. One person said they were number 366 on the waiting list in Ericeira. Even some Portuguese nationals have had trouble, and once you do have a family doctor, appointment wait times can be months long for a routine visit. However, Portuguese locals recommend getting to the health center before 8 a.m. to be seen on the same day. Also, you can schedule a virtual appointment within a week or so. So the public system is there, and for genuine emergencies, it can be excellent. But for day-to-day primary care, many expats rely on private plans that range from €50 to €200 per month. Compared to the US, that's a significant savings. Another expat said, "I have Medis and pay €12.50 each time I visit my family doctor, €18 when seeing any other doctor that is part of Medis pool, and €60 if I show up at ER. For private practitioner, they will pay me back up to €45.50, regardless of how much it costs. The insurance costs us €135 a month for me and my wife, 46 and 33 years old, respectively." If you're looking for private health insurance in Portugal, scan the QR code on the screen and use code Kristin to save €15 on your plan. Taxes in Portugal can be an expensive surprise if you don't plan ahead. I'm going to keep this practical because I'm not a tax advisor, and your situation will be specific to you. Portugal uses a progressive income tax system. Tax rates this year run from 14.5% at the low end up to 48% at the top, with a solidarity surcharge kicking in on higher incomes. For most expats living on a moderate income or pension, you're realistically looking at the 28 to 35% bracket. Everything you buy in Portugal includes value-added tax, called IVA for short in Portuguese. The general categories vary depending on where you are in Portugal. It's worth knowing about because it's one reason why some goods, especially electronics and cars, feel expensive relative to the US. If you buy a home in Portugal, you'll pay the IMI, the municipal property tax, once a year. The good news is that Portugal and the US have a tax treaty, which means you won't pay double taxes. Also, many US citizens working abroad benefit from the Foreign Earned Income Exclusion, FEIE, which can exclude up to $132,900 from income taxes each year, adjusted annually for inflation. Portugal also doesn't have a wealth or inheritance tax, although there's a 10% duty on Portuguese assets passed down in some cases. And if you're running a business or freelancing from abroad, Wise Business was made for you. It gives you local account details in 9+ currencies, including US dollar, euro, and the Great British Pound. That way, your clients can pay you like a local no matter where you are. You can also pay suppliers and invoices in 40+ currencies, sync with accounting tools like Xero and QuickBooks, and generate invoices for free, all in one place. The best part is, whether you open a Wise Business or personal account, you can open it in minutes from your phone. Your funds are also safe because Wise doesn't lend out your money like a traditional bank. Instead, it's being held separately in cash and liquid assets, secured by a guarantee. Use the link below this video or scan the QR code on the screen to open your Wise account today and get your first transfer up to $600 fee-free. Spend and save wisely in Portugal and beyond. Use the code or link in this video now to get your free transfer, multiple currency accounts, and low fees. And thanks to Wise for partnering with me on this video. So, can you live in Portugal for under €2,000 per month? Overall, these are the average costs for the top locations to move to in Portugal, showing that you can still live in Portugal for less than €2,000 per month. Here you can find a monthly budget summary chart for Portugal, depending if you're an expat, digital nomad, or family. Scan the QR code on screen if you're planning to move to Portugal, and watch this video next to find out the best places to live in Portugal.